to today. Probably one of the dumbest things I ever did, or one of the dumbest things I'm going to do. It's almost 100 degrees outside and we are going to start a fire. Yeah, we're going to start a fire. Why? I don't know, but we have to. Anyways, I'll see you in a minute. We are out here today. We're going to cut some wood, cut some fire starters. What we are doing is actually testing a wood burning stove. And I know it's hot, but I need this thing. So when you get a wood burning stove, you actually got to burn it in. We got to form the stove pipe. We got to form all that stuff in. And can't wait for it to get colder because I need it here in a few weeks when we go to Colorado. I don't think it'll be too cold in Colorado, but I think at night it'll get down to about freezing. I'll be fine, but it's my significant other that I worry about as far as keeping her warm. She gets really cold. She hates the cold, but she insists on going with. So it is what it is. But we gotta cut some wood, guys. So hang tight. It's about to get hot, and then it's about to get even really hot. I love y'all. Pray for me. Just pray. All right, so stand up, baby. Okay, ooh, get your stuff together. Get it together. I know it's hot. So basically, we cut off about 3 sections about this big. We don't need the pieces too long, but we do need them smaller. We need it slimmer. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna split them up. Get them right for the stove that we're about to test. You guys will hear more about that here in a minute. But in case you didn't know, it's really stinking hot. I think we got more than enough. We're gonna load it up. I'm not real sure on some of the size. I'm leaving some of them a little bit big. If they work, they work. If not, I'll cut them up a little bit smaller when we get down there. It's the first time actually cutting wood for this thing, so the exact size I'm just guesstimating. I'm pretty sure our length is more than enough. It's just the width of some of them, but regardless. Dang. Let's go get some water, get the stove out, and we got some stuff to talk about, guys. Woo! What we have here is a bunch of dried cedar, and in case some of y'all don't know, that is the best fire starter if you don't want to use diesel or anything dangerous. This is a really good fire starter. So I'm gonna cut pieces of this, and we're gonna get started. It looks like somebody pulled in and wants to talk. So anyways, got just a handful, I guess 2 handfuls of some cedar. Some of these we gotta make smaller. I got a little discombobulated because somebody showed up, but that is okay. So we have our fire starter here. It's not a whole lot, but this wood is pretty dry, so we should be okay there. But let's get into the stove that we're here to talk about. Ooh. The hat looks ridiculous, but it is nice. I like this hat. Whew. All right, let me get it out so we can talk. All right, guys. Y'all guys remember the Argali Titanium tent we did? We did 2 videos on it. We did one where we talked about it, and we did another one where we sealed it. And It has a opening at the top for a stove, and it's a 3-inch stove pipe. And I started looking, and I could find stuff between 4 and 5 inches. I was trying to find one under budget, but I just couldn't do it. So I ended up going with Argali's own titanium wood stove. And so we're gonna put this thing together, then we're gonna talk about the stovepipe. Yeah. And so once we get this stuff together, once we get the body built, we'll talk about how we're gonna do the stovepipe. But in all reality, they say when you get these, you gotta burn them in. And the biggest thing is, well, we'll talk about the stovepipe here in a little bit, because that is probably the most important part of what we gotta burn in. But let's get this thing put together. It should be really relatively easy, relatively common sense, guys. It shouldn't be too big of a deal at all. So you have a top, which the stovepipe comes at the top. You have the bottom, which has legs on it. You have the front that has an opening. You have the back that does not, and then you have the 2 long sides. Should be pretty easy, I think, right? Yeah, so let's do it. All right, guys, we're gonna try to utilize as much of the shade as we can on this Ranger. It ain't much shade because the sun is very tall right now, but get my phone out of my pocket. So I ordered this thing a few months ago, and it took a while to get in simply because they were back ordered and I had to wait for it to ship. That's fine. See right here, you have the top. That is for the stovepipe. You have some of the screws right there. We don't need to lose those. Obviously, this has got to be a side simply because the top has holes in it. It's going to line up like that, and these bolts or these little wing nuts are going to screw down into those holes there. So it should be pretty common sense, guys, to be honest with you. This looks like this has to be the back piece. Okay. This is going to be a side simply because it has Argali written on the side. And then the front, because it has the opening, and this is our door here. Looks like it slides this way into that thing. Looks like something like that. So, and here's the bottom. We have the 4 legs. This actual stove had a lot of really good reviews, except for one thing. We'll get into that in a little bit, guys. No need to talk about it right now. But other than that, they said it works really, really well. I did order some extra pieces with it. It came with these, and basically these are when you get the stovepipe going around, you get it fitted, and you slide these things up the stovepipe to help it hold its shape. I bought extra ones just in case. You never know, out in the woods things happen. Oh, something blew off a while ago. Gonna have pants on because I got some bull nettle right here. Nice. So Texas, it gets really hot. The good thing about Texas is it gets so hot, it eventually dries out, and you don't have to mow anymore because it's too dry. But I'm gonna have to mow at least one more time for now. Oh, this thing is hot from the sun already. Get out of the sun. Jesus, it got hot already. You gotta be kidding me. All right, so we have 8 of these things. So 4 on top, 4 on bottom. Let's get it put together. I messed up. I got a little too far ahead of myself. So, kind of catch you guys up to what I figured out. That's what you need to do is, there's these grooves here. Put these grooves just like this. So yeah, now you put top and bottom on with the wing nuts. Duh. Alright guys, this this right here is the Argali Titanium wood stove, and man, this thing weighs like nothing. Like, it's absolutely nothing, and folds up about the size of a notebook or so. Basically what you have a stovepipe that's going to go here, which we're about to roll that sucker out here in just a second. Well, what you have here is you have your door, access for your wood to go in. It does come out relatively easy. This right here, you can close the door. This right here, this little sliding piece here kind of helps control the airflow. Depends on how much air you want to go through there, guys. I know sometimes you want to slow it down so the wood can burn slower, the heat will last a little longer, so on and so forth, guys. That's basically it. But the hard part, which we're about to get into the hard part, is the stovepipe. As you can see, this thing has a lot of memory and wants to roll back up on itself. And so what they say is when you get it, you take a piece of PVC, which we have a piece of conduit over there. It's only a 2-inch. God, dog. But basically what we do is we're gonna lay the conduit on this thing and then try to help roll this right here on the conduit. I'm going to use, and really you need 2 or 3 people to kind of help do it at the same time. And then those little round pieces I showed you earlier, those should slide over the end and kind of hold it in place. And then what you do is, once you get the fire going, basically this thing, you burn it in. And basically at that point, this thing here, it has memory like that, but then it'll have memory long ways and then also short ways, if that makes sense. And so in the backwoods, it'll be a lot easier to roll it up, yada yada yada. So we're going to test it out. We're going to roll this thing out, get that piece of conduit on there, roll the thing up, get it wrapped, get it to 3 inches, and then we're going to put our rings on there, and then we're going to start a fire. What I'm probably going to do is some of that cedar elm that we chopped up when it goes a little bit light, but I'm probably going to go over there and split some oak and bring some oak over here so we can get a good nice hot fire. That way we can burn this thing in, get the stovepipe burned in, and that way it has some memory both directions, because I need it to have memory both directions. We still have a lot of work to do, and if I haven't told you already, it's really hot. Let's do it. Okay, so I took this 550 cord that is now blown all over the place, and I made 3 tension knots that are going to help me basically roll this piece of, I call it flashing, but it's the stovepipe material all around around that conduit there. Now they say they have 3 to 4 people helping you, but you do need gloves because it does feel a little sharp, I'm not going to lie. They just should have 2, 3, 4 people helping you. It makes it easier. I don't have that right now. I'm solo, baby. But I do have some tension knots. I'm hoping as I roll, tighten the knots down, and then kind of help shape it. I'm thinking it'll work. It should work. It better work. I hope it works. Let's get started. I'm not gonna lie, that worked actually fairly well. We got it fairly close right now. Probably could have used 4 instead of 3, but that is okay. We're gonna go ahead and put those rings on there and start sliding the rings up, start sliding the 550 cord off, and then get this thing mounted. So comes with this will go in here, this kind of here, it helps control the smoke output, and then these kind of help with, you know, ambers and stuff like that, but the pipe should go on top of that. And then it's an 8-foot pipe because I wanted a minimal of 2 feet coming out the top of the tent, simply because if some ambers do get out, if they're right up against the tent, they stand a better chance of catching the tent and burning a little hole. But really and truly, you want to set it up to where the wind blows it away, but you still want about a 2-foot gap between the top of the tent and the top of your pipe. So that's why we went with an 8-foot pipe, because the very top of our tent is about 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot roughly. So anyways, let's get these rings put on here. Let's see what she looks like. I'm pretty excited. All right, guys. I think we're done for the day. We gotta go. We're going to the rodeo here in just a few minutes, so I don't want to start this thing up and then leave. I want to be here to monitor it just in case something goes wrong. But ultimately, what we did, it was really easy using those tension knots on top of that piece of conduit. Man, it was money, man. I'm not gonna lie, it went so easy. I don't even know why I worried about it. It worked really well, and it came with 8 of those rings, and I just spaced those rings out. What I did is at the bottom, I raised all of the rings up to about where that third one's at, about we'll say about 3 feet off the ground. I flared out the bottom, put it over that piece I showed y'all earlier, and then I ran those pieces down, and it cinched down on top of that piece, so it kind of holds it in place. The problem we had is there's so much wind, so I had to drive in some T-posts, and then I couldn't find my wire, but I did find some. I had some Romex here, so when I wired her shop, we had some extra Romex. Don't tell Shauna, she'll probably get mad. And I just pulled out the ground wire and used that to attach to the T-post so that it doesn't do any of this. I do have all of our small little kindling and cedar, dried cedar in there. It's ready to go. All I need to do is light it, let it burn, let it go, because cedar, man, burns really good, especially when you're starting a fire. And I'll start feeding it these small pieces of wood. And then I do have some pre-cut, some cedar and some oak over there that are really small pieces that we can actually feed in here too, to help it get hotter, simply because oak actually burns hotter than any other wood here in Central Texas, as far as I know of. Hotter longer, I believe. But anyways, regardless, we got it set up, we get it ready to go. I have to go in, I have to shower real quick, I have to get ready because we are going to the rodeo. We have some VIP passes. I've never been, and so Shauna wanted a date night. I was like, hey, let's go to the rodeo. A good friend of mine's going. They had some extra tickets, and they said, hey, you want to go? I was like, sure, why not? But anyways, it's hot. I'm gonna get inside, chug some water, jump in the shower, and we gotta get going. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back. Oh my goodness, it's hot. So we had a busy day. Yesterday I had 3 hours of sleep. Started filming this video after the gym, and we had to get up. We actually went to the rodeo yesterday. That was something else. I've never been to one before. It was pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. But then went there, got home, went to bed around midnight, got about 4 hours of sleep, got up, went and filmed. Y'all guys will see the video soon. We kind of went out of town for that one. And then I just came back and crashed, guys. I was tired. So I came here, I'm back. We're gonna get this thing started so we can get this thing burned in, man, and see how good it does. Kind of excited. But anyways, found a lighter. I don't know what happened to the lighter I had yesterday, but regardless. And my legs are on fire, so therefore I must have brushed up against some bull nettle. I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's get this thing started. There we go. Whew. I don't think we need this on yet. Makes perfect sense. It's a lot of fire in the middle of summer. It's awesome. Smoke coming out the stack. Man, that old cedar, I'm telling you, man, dried cedar, there's nothing better with starting fires here. Look at it, baby, look at it. So a couple things I'm looking for right now is no smoke leaking around the edges, and I don't particularly see anything. It's all coming out the top. Oh, oh, ouch. dang, man, some freaking bull nettle here on the ground. What I'm gonna do is open this up more to allow more smoke to come out there. You can already see it's getting hot. It's already discoloring, but we need this thing to get burned in, as well as this pipe. Is probably the most important thing that needs to get burned in, because basically you burn it in like that, from what I understand, develops muscle memory, so that it's easier to roll up long ways like that. We have, let's open up the, got the air opened up more. The only thing I will say right now, those little bitty, whatever those little wire things are, don't really, you can't, it's hard to grab. So what I'll probably do is get some carabiners to grab them, pull them open a little bit better, a little bit easier. But man, this sucker's hot, that's for sure. It's putting out some heat, that is for sure. What I'll do is I'll come check on it here in about, I mean, I'm just monitoring it right there, but what I'll do is I'll let it go for about probably 10 or 15 minutes. I'll come out here with a carabiner, open it up, put some more wood in there, and just keep feeding it for a little while, because I need it to get good and hot. And then, I'm not gonna lie, we'll finish this video tomorrow, because what'll happen is, I gotta let the fire die out. I gotta let it cool off completely so I can dismantle it and take the ash out of there. So, kind of like the longest, most prolonged video I've ever had, as far as to start one day, pick it back up the next day, and then finishing it on the third day. That's awesome. Still put out a lot of smoke. Still putting out a lot of smoke, and I can see the fire right here in the air. So the stove is picking up, man. It's the wood's catching. That's good. That's awesome. And I have a lot of freaking bull nettle around here, guys. My legs are on fire right now. Yeah, dang. I've got to mow, but I've just been busy. Look at that. Stove is hot, man. Stove is hot. But it's not leaking any air, or it's not leaking any smoke. That's good. Smoke, air's coming into the bottom, going out the top. That's what we need to do. I mean, gosh dang, that's good. Some of the ones you get, they don't seal very good, and you can get smoke coming out the side, stuff like that. And you don't want that. You don't want the smoke in your tent. You want the air to come in, smoke to go out the top, so your tent is good and just warm. You don't want to be choking on smoke. But I'll leave this carabiner right here, so when I come back out, I can just hook onto that little loop thing they have down there and open it up. Need to bring some more gloves for this thing too, so that I can actually work the door a little better without burning my fingers. All right, we're going, man. We're going. It's going good. Let's just give it time. Give it time. And as usual, it's hot as heck out here. We're back out here. Man, this thing got burned. It got pretty hot. I came out here yesterday and I went to put some more wood on this thing, or in it I should say, and this thing was just, it was hot, man. Like, I couldn't really get close to it, but it's gonna do its job, I think, in Colorado. As you can see, it's even discolored up there at the top, right here at the bottom, so it did get hot. So my biggest things right now is, do we have, like, in theory, let's just say you burn the stovepipe in so that it has memory to fold up lengthways and, you know, long ways. I don't know, whatever. It basically, it develops memory to go back to the way it was. Let's take a moment here. All right, so it came packaged a certain way, so it should naturally roll back that way. However, we burn it in so you also get memory so that it easily rolls out like it is now. Now, the best way to clean the ashes out is wait for it to cool down, pull that ring on the bottom, roll it up, let the bottom flare back out. The pipe should come off, and then we should be able to open the door, dump the ashes out. Of course, not in the tent, obviously we'll have a spot designated for ash disposal, but man, let's take a look at it. I'm impressed. As you can see, it does want to stay rolled like a pipe or like a stovepipe, whatever you want to call it. But I did roll it back up, rolled back really easy, like to go back in storage. Man, like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Burning it in is pretty awesome. So basically now, I mean, really that's it. We're gonna fold that thing back, I'll roll it back up, take this thing apart, put all the pieces in that little zipper thing we have for it, the zipper carry case, and man, we're ready to go. We got a trip coming up in like about 2.5 weeks. Gonna need this baby, we need it to be ready, so I'm impressed. Smoke didn't leak, gosh dang, and it got hot. So I love you guys, see you later.